Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, happy Hanukkah, all that good stuff. Hope y'all are doing well. I can't believe it's Sunday again. I keep saying that every week, but I swear the older we get, the faster this time goes. Um, yeah, interesting stuff. So this is the live stream of whatever. If you were here last week, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's just whatever we want to talk about. Typically start out with the stock market. So what did the stock market do? Well, it went up. S&P was up 2.3%. NASDAQ was up 1.65%. The Russell was up astonishing 3.2%. And the Dow Jones was up 2%. So there's a poll question out there talking about, do you have FOMO? Those who don't know, FOMO is fear of missing out. And I got to be honest with you. I'm probably in the yes camp here. There's a lot of people calling for, the market's going to go down another 50% from its highs and all this stuff. But what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't? You're sitting on the sidelines with cash. All kinds of people in March of 2020 said, oh, this is, you guys are stupid for getting back into this market. And it went up for the next freaking 18 months. And you missed out on a boatload of gains. Now, you're going to say, well, that was different. Well, yeah, it was different. Obviously, it was different. You don't have helicopter money being dumped into the market, but you don't know how the market's going to react. Like, we got inflation numbers, we got higher interest rates, and the market just keeps pounding higher. It's not, you can never explain it. So, those people that, missed out on 2020, after 2020, they were right. There was like, oh, this can't happen, blah, blah, blah. And they were right eventually, but they weren't right for 18 months. Right. And these people that are probably saying, oh, this market's going to go down, X amount, blah, blah, blah. They're probably right eventually, but I don't know. So that's the FOMO part. I got it a little bit because I'm like, man, what if this thing takes off for another 18 months like it did after March of 2020? And you miss out on all that. You got money sitting on the sidelines. Luckily, I'm invested quite a bit. I'm not huge. Well, let's see. How much cash do I have on the side? Probably 30-40%, something like that. So it's a little bit, there's some of these stocks that I would love to pick up. I noticed Nick's for me was talking about Dutch Bros. You see, Dutch Bros made a huge move, fell back a little bit. I kind of wish it would fall back a little bit more because I'd like to own that stock. I almost FOMO'd into it. And that's what brought up the poll question, because I almost FOMO'd into Dutch Bros. And luckily I didn't, because it did fall back. But that's part of the reason. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? This week coming up is going to be interesting. We got big retail posting earnings or reporting earnings. You got Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Target. You got Cisco, Applied Materials, Analog Devices, so semiconductors a little bit. TJ Maxx, again, another retail. What else? Ross Stores. Anything else that jumps out at me? Not very big stuff, but those are probably the majors. Coles will be interesting because that's been a some people call it a value trap, but they're a cheap company as far as a PE is concerned. They missed out on a couple of buyout opportunities that they could have profited from. So we'll see. Maybe they're smarter than the people that were buying them out. Who knows? Or wanting to buy them out. But that's it. That's all I got for the week. Let's see. What did we do this week? I took Wednesday off and went to the outlet malls, and we went to a once famous little ice cream parlor that they made their little own ice cream on site, and it was like a little 50s diner type thing. And we haven't been there in a number of years. And I remember the owner had recently passed away, but they said they were going to stay open. And so we went there, and it was a huge disappointment. I mean, it was trashed. It smelled. Nobody was there. I mean, prior 2020, I mean, you can go any day of the week, and it was packed. This place was packed every day. I don't even care if it was Saturday. I didn't care if it was a Wednesday. Didn't care if it was in the morning, in the afternoon. It was packed, and there wasn't a soul in there. So that was kind of sad. I think that's all I did. Last week I tweaked my back, so I don't know. I think it's a nerve because it's now starting to run down my leg. So, what else can I complain about? Anything, babe?
I'm sicky.
You're sicky. You're not sicky. You're healed, woman.
My blood is sicky.
Oh, yeah. Knives got some blood work done and showing that she's iron deficient. Iron deficient.
Does beer help with that?
I don't know if beer helps with that, babe. You can give it a shot.
Where's my drinking buddy?
I don't know if there's iron in beer, but if there's iron in beer, it'll help. Let's see. What else I got? I got nothing else. Nope, I got nothing else. Gas prices paid $4.69. That's the cheapest I've paid in quite a while. Needs to go down a little bit more. Obviously, at least another $1 to be somewhat normal prior 2020. You know what I mean? Yep, that's it. Brian Smith says FOMO, fear of missing out. Yeah. Yep. Oh, Ben Dover says I need a poll redo. You can change your answers, I do believe. Knives is present. Food guy says should be interesting week. Walmart and Target reporting. Yep. It'll be retail will be interesting. Walmart kind of, what's that word? Deflected? No, it's not deflected. I'm trying to think of what that word is because they reported a couple weeks ago to expect some bad news. So we'll see how that goes. Gary Lienerman. Hello. Sup, Nix? Good evening, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Had successful puts on Palantir, Intel, Walgreens Boots, and Bros last week. Yeah, I put on a Bros. I took off an Intel. Considered Palantir, and I always look at WBA, but I only play it once in a while for some reason. A huge week for us. Let's hope for an up market. I'd be surprised. I think I said that 2 weeks ago that I'd be surprised at an up market, and here we are. We had an up market. So if both Walmart and Target report that the economy sucks, from their customers, we might have a down market. I own 200 shares of Bros that I've been selling calls, and I've been rolling puts on it as well. Mad money. Yeah, I probably, if I owned 200 shares, I probably would have sold on this run up in the 50s, because I think it got 53 or something like that. What did it get to? It got to 52. I'd like it at 40. Social Justice Warrior Ray, good evening. Anaya, there's your drinking buddy. Hey, hey, hey. Bend over says, sure, just drink the 6-pack of beer. She will be fine. He put deer. Don't drink 6 packs of deer, babe.
I just bought some deer.
You just bought some deer? Did you really, deer? Had a limit order for Bros at 20. Low was 20.05. Oh, that sucks. You could have had a doubler on your hand. I like to buy under 40. I'd buy way more at 30. Yeah. Hit the thumbs up button. Vitamin C helps with iron absorptions. Foods high in vitamin C are strawberries, dark leafy greens, bell peppers, and citrus fruits. Yeah, vitamin C. You need it along with iron. If you're iron deficient, it'll just help it. We don't have a problem with vitamin C, but women especially are prone to iron deficiencies because of their monthly visitor.
You are my monthly visitor.
I'm the monthly visitor. I think I'm daily. Bend over's button is broken. He's got a broken button. Uh-oh. Let's see. There's some people out there with having some FOMO. Yeah. I get it. I definitely get it. That bend over. I don't know what that is. Buying for dividends. What are you buying for dividends, Don? Not Bros, that's for sure. What else did I do? Did I buy anything? I don't think I bought anything. No. Might have dripped some shares of something, but I didn't outright buy anything. Carl Icon, I think is his name. IEP. IEP chart. Oh man, they're making a run. Dividend 14.5%. Sheesh. That's insane. I just feel with Icon that they're going to pull the rug one time. They're going to make a mistake at some point. I just don't understand. Let me see. Where is the earnings? Earnings. Yeah, I don't get it. Earnings of $1.03 per share, but they pay out a $2 dividend. I'm sure there's accounting issues. I mean, accounting practices there, but That is interesting. $1.03 in actual adjusted earnings per share, and then they paid out $2 in a dividend. So kind of strange. I never dug into it to figure it out. Bend over. You got it now. Bend over. Rover. Stone Cold Steve Austin is buying some XYLD. Shamir says, good evening, all. Just find all these new terms by the elites, such as boomflation and boom session. November is approaching, and the shilling for Biden and the Dems get more intense. Yeah, see, that's my thing about the FOMO thing. It's like they have to have good news until at least November. So everything has to be a good thing, right? As far as the economy is concerned. So just look for this. I would just say I would think look for the stock market to go higher. Look for gas prices to go lower. Look for consumer confidence to go up. All that. JEPQ's a good one. I like it. I like JEPI too. Apple is up 30% in the last few weeks. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. All over an iPhone. And some AirPods. I use Apple products though. That's what I'm filming this on. You know, I've never had a problem with an Apple product though, except for the damn chargers, the cables. Like knives goes through
Don't start.
Apple charging cables like no other.
You guys give me the shit ones, that's why.
I gave you a brand new one.
Bruh.
Well, it wasn't quite brand new,
Okay.
but perhaps QILD at these low prices. Just don't expect a recovery from QILD. Not with the NASDAQ running the way it is. Look at a chart. NASDAQ's going crazy. QYLD, RYLD, XYLD, flat as can be. It won't. It's interesting. It's not interesting. It's predictable, I should say. Too many things not making sense right. The Lord, right? Not making sense right now in the market. I hate being a bear, but almost feel like a bull trap to me. Yeah, I think that's what April of 2020 felt like too, though. You know, it's just I get both sides because it's like this can't be right, but it also it was the same thing in April of 2020. Like this can't be right, and then it went on for another 18 months. But I don't disagree that that it doesn't make sense. Apple seems to have a resistance point of about 180 and then goes back down back to the mid 150s or lower before going back up to 180. Rinse and repeat. I don't look at Apple very often. Let's see. Yeah, 180 would be. It touched that a couple of times here in the past year or so. 6 months or so. Dang, we're already in August. Jesus. I feel like this is a trap bull market, but it's anyone's guess. That's right. It's just a guess. It's literal guess. You have no idea. That's, that's the bad part. You can hold on to your, this is a trap. I'm going to stay on the sidelines, and this can go on for 2 years of just, 2% gains every single month. Maybe not 2%, but you get what I'm saying. But you'll be right eventually. That's the bad part about it. Anaya says, okay, so let's see y'all's opinions. I'm thinking about starting a monthly dividend portfolio for my wife. I'm going for $100 monthly as a goal. I'm thinking 30% XYLD, 20% JEPI, 20% SCHD, 10% SPID, 20% VYM. I think it's too complicated. That's just my opinion. You can do anything you want. But you know, a combination of like SCHD and JEPI would be wonderful there, or even VYM and JEPI. And it really depends. You say a monthly dividend, you're going for $100 monthly to put in, or $100 a month in dividends. And when do you need it? Like if you got a long period of time, there's no reason to heavyweight XYLD in there. You know, if you got 20 years until you need any of this stuff, you know, I would go something like 80% SCHD and 20% JEPI or something like that. But it really just depends on timeline and what you actually need out of it. I recently upgraded my Apple products or switched from Microsoft to Apple, so they've got plenty of money right now. Yeah, I won't switch any of my Apple products until they die completely. I shouldn't say any because I only have the iPhone. But I used to use an iPad. I don't use it anymore. It's like 10, 12 years old, something like that. It still works. But it's been dropped like many, many times. And, you know, with that being that old, sometimes apps don't work on it. So that's the sucky part about it. I'm going to sell all my QYLD once I break even and buy JEPQ. What's your cost basis? You may not even break even. It just depends on when you bought it. I would look at it as long as the NASDAQ is going up like it's going up. Don't expect any price appreciation or very, very little. Just to add, we already have growth portfolios. This portfolio is solely focused on income. Easy. That gets to her account without looking at it. Yeah, like I said, everything stands is like just depends on how much time you got. Anybody selling calls on nukes? I guess you could. Who makes them? Is it Raytheon? Is it Northrop Grumman? Who makes those things? $100 monthly dividends. Gotcha. SCHD and SPID seemed redundant. I would just pick one. Yeah, I would say the same. I would like it ASAP so she stops bugging me for investing as much. Well, then get as much income as you can. Go XYLD and JEPI. That way she could see the money coming in every single month. Just make her like a play money portfolio. There you go. Thanks, Lord. We'll keep looking at it. Kind of hard to decide. You can use M1 Finance and just play around with it, make some pies. That's the nice thing about M1 Finance is you could just make a pie and look at it and think about it, adjust it till you find something you're happy with. I recently upgraded my 10-year-old iPad, which hardly works, so I had to upgrade. Had the iPad 3. Yeah, mine's somewhere in there too. It's at least 10 years old. Might even be older than 10 years old. I don't even know what number it is. But yeah, I don't know. I may upgrade it. Doubt it though. I might just get a cheapo tablet. Once my dividends cover my loss, I'm out of QYLD. Gotcha. But why wait? That's another question, is why wait, right? Why? Okay, maybe you're down a couple $100 in QYLD, but by the time you gain that back, JEPQ, which you wanted to get into, has gone up. You missed out on maybe $500 worth of gains, right? So what did you really gain? Nothing. You lost. So, I get not wanting to take a loss, but you could be actually possibly, I'm not saying that's the case, you could possibly be missing out on upside that QYLD won't give you. So, just something to consider. I get it, because I don't like it. That's rough selling stuff at a loss, because it feels ugly. But you got to think about those things, like, because JEPQ will participate in the market upside. QYLD will not, ever, or like very rarely. JEPQ definitely will. Do you think JEPI is more safety than VU? Absolutely. How much? That's that's up for debate. And let's see. We can just go year to date, right? Year to date, the S&P down 10.77% and JEPI's down 8.4%. So what is that? 20%? A 20% improvement over the S&P. Now the issue is, with JEPI, you're going to probably have a 20% difference on the upside as well. So, it's really what do you want? Right. So if a portfolio is designed to not capture the downside, right, the opposite is also going to be true. However much is it designed to not capture the downside, is the opposite is true, is it's not going to capture that much upside either. So good evening, good week coming as the American mood is improving. It does seem that way. Except people have no idea how to friggin' drive. That's what happened. Like this friggin' Tesla driver, right, on the highway. I'm cruising in the slow lane because I don't drive fast anymore. I typically speed limit, and that's about it.
Anymore.
Maybe 5 miles an hour over, if anything. I just don't want a ticket. I don't like spending money on tickets, because that's just, might as well take a lighter to money. I'm the last car in line, and there's nobody behind me. And this Tesla driver comes up to the right side of me. I'm coming up to an exit on off ramp, and he cuts right in front of me and exits. And I honk at him because I'm like a foot away from this guy. He just totally cuts me off, and I honk, and he freaking flips me off like I did something wrong. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then some lady in a Camaro, I guess she decided she owned the road, and it was all clear, and she was merging into the left lanes, and I was there, and like, I don't get it. I don't get people. People literally don't know how to drive. Agree, Gary. Agree. QLD only for retirees looking to replace annuities. Yeah, if you're close to death, I guess. QILD will work for anybody. The question though is, are you okay with, only taking half the income and then, plowing the other half back in to increase your share count? That's the only way that QILD is going to work for you long term. JEPI and JEPQ had up weeks, but both did not do as well as the index, but it's okay for the long run. Yeah, it's designed that way. It's not supposed to have it's not supposed to do as well as the index because it's not tracking the index. They're not designed to uh be the index, right? It's supposed to uh, uh capture some of the index while giving income. JEPI total 2022 return is closer to zero. Yeah, if you include dividends. I'm just talking price to price. Looking for steady income. I agree and I don't. Because, your income has decreased, for how many months now with QILD? So I don't know if I would call that steady. Let me see if I can look it up here real quick. Da, 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 da. Yeah, pretty much all year, your income has dropped almost every month. Had a little bit of bump up here in July. Looks like you might have a little bump up here in August. Close to death. We only got 27 people in here. Where'd everybody go? People don't like this no more. I think we talked about too much different crap last week. 60% of the votes, no FOMO. 27% says yes. 13% say, what the hell is FOMO? I get it. I use drip on my JEPI and JEPQ, and if I started younger, it would really be a good passive investment. That's if they were around when you were younger. Is 69 and retired close to death. Every day you wake up is a day closer to death. That's the sad reality if you really think about it. That's why I say, if you got something you want to do, get her done. Go figure it out. Walmart reports on Tuesday. Yeah, they pretty much, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? They countered it. They kind of countered. I guess that's not the word I'm thinking of. Basically, they reported that that you should probably expect bad news. Where's Walmart at on the chart? Yeah, they had that big drop. It recovered mostly though. And they reported that big drop. It dropped down to 120 and recovered. Hey, really bounced off that 50 moving average. Really did. Yeah, so if it beats, look for 140. If they don't beat, I'd look somewhere in the mid 120s to 120, somewhere in there. Good evening. What's the hot topic? I don't know. Bring up one. Death seems to be a hot topic at the moment. That's if you wake up. Yeah, exactly. If you wake up, you're one more day closer to the end. Earnings per share. That's why I like your retire with less series. I think people put their head down and don't retire till they have millions because that's what's needed to retire, enjoy life. Yeah, that was the whole point of the retire with less series, because it was like I would have never had a million. There's no way in hell that I'd have $1 million, because I didn't realize that, you know, I really didn't think about investing or retirement until about I was age. Oh, how old was I? 43. And like I had, we had $40,000 in debt. We don't own a home at that time. We still don't, but um, there was no way like to think that, these professionals saying, "Oh, you need $1 million." I'm like, well, we're screwed, right? So that kind of just that started the journey, and it's like there's definitely ways uh, to go about retiring without millions of dollars. The problem is the machine needs you to not retire, right? The machine needs you to pay taxes. The machine needs you to contribute to the 87,000 new IRS agents that are uh, that you're paying taxes on, so that they can come screw with you. So that's what the machine needs. Um, but there's ways that you can go without the machine. 69 age is close. Unless he lives to 100, then he's got 31 years to go. Every day is a gift. Exactly. Wish I knew that sooner, but I never liked Hallmark philosophy. Hallmark philosophy. Went to the grocery store on Saturday. So many shelves bare, especially in dairy and frozen foods. Anyone else noticing other shortages? We are looking as far as 1 year out for truck parts. No. Um, Not that bad. It was earlier on. I don't know if it was early on this year. Yeah, a few months ago I noticed it a little bit worse. Uh, but it seems to have improved quite a bit. Like dairy especially. Yeah, I noticed it a few months ago in dairy and frozen foods. Um, but not we just went grocery shopping this past week. I forget, I think it was Tuesday. And yeah, shelves were really full. Walmart lowered guidance. Yep. That's a cold topic. How close are you to the amount you need invested to go on your RV trip? I can go right now. We got, you know, I could generate, if I wanted to, enough from my options account and dividends to actually go now. But problem is I don't have an RV. So I would need an RV. And I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if I'm going to go pay cash for a used one, finance a really nice one, or what. I don't know. I don't know yet. Hopefully, I was saying, I don't know if when I said that, but I was hoping that this RV stuff, the RV craze, I don't think it is though, unfortunately, but I'm hoping that it dies down. But it doesn't seem like it is. Raids is a hot topic to try and keep the Trumper from running. That's exactly what the raid is for. Um, there's I think it's a freaking huge mistake though, because it just strengthens the base. It just totally strengthened the base. Like even if they prevent Trump from running, right? They found some evidence or found some evidence, that would keep him from running. Um, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Trump, So I think they screwed up. I also think it was just a way. I think it was a message being sent that outsiders are not welcome in this administration, in this government. Because I guarantee friggin' you, if Jeb Bush was the president instead of Trump, but Jeb Bush did exactly everything to the T that Trump did in the 4 years, everything. I guarantee you that the Bush kid wouldn't be going through this stuff right now. Guaranteed. And I'm talking that's, I get accused of, both sides. Yeah, exactly. They're the swamp. The Bushes would not, if it was Jeb Bush in there, the administration, the feds would, and they did the exact same thing Trump did. They would not go after them. And it's sad. It's just a message to you normal people, you don't belong in this government. I'm not saying Trump was normal, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, you're not connected. Don't try to come in here. I think that was the message. If you're investing, you need to always look at the bright side. The future is so bright, you have to wear shades. Been saying that since 1970. Wasn't that a song? I thought so. Huffman is just reborn a god. Mom lived to 96, dad to 94, and I have an aunt who just celebrated her 107th birthday. It is all good. I am investing like I will live a long while. There you go. As long as you enjoy it. My store had shortages on ice cream, but then I noticed the freezer was broken. Mine have been out of frozen pizzas, like very low stock of frozen pizzas. And then I was perusing the job ads, and then I found a job ad for I want to say Schwann's, a merchandiser, And that's what they do, because a lot of stuff in frozen foods, um, and some other things, they're managed by outside vendors, even like your soda, your Pepsis, your Doritos, those type of things. Frozen foods, a lot of those are managed, stocked, and replenished by outside vendors. The stores don't touch them. Um, so, like if your frozen pizza was out, uh, typically the store employees will not stock that because it's not their job. It's not their space. The vendors own that space or lease that space, and they need to maintain that space. So if it's out, the merchandiser probably hasn't been there yet. So there's some ice cream vendors too as well. I work about 140 hours in 2 weeks to retire in 5 years. I hope I will not die at work. That's the key. That's the key. Do not die at work. Um, that's the bad part, right? Is if you are pushing yourself so hard that it ends up being unhealthy, and no amount of hours, no amount of money is worth it. So hopefully you know what you're doing, um, and you're healthy and all that stuff. Where I'm at, plenty of things on the shelves. They're just too expensive to buy. Yeah, I forget what it was. Was it pasta? We were buying some pasta, and the box of pasta, I looked at the price and I was like, when the hell did that get that expensive? Because you don't notice that kind of stuff, right? Because it was like $1.78. And I was like, I remember these things being 96 cents. And they're up, 40, 50% or more. That's more than 40 or 50%. Gator says gas in Georgia today, $3.20 a gallon. Whew, they're coming down. Mike Witten, the only thing dying down is restrictions for the next 90 days now that we are in the quiet period, 90-day window to election. Going to be interesting. I filled up $3.12 a gallon on Friday, Southeast Texas. Yeah, mine was $4.69, I think I said. Kyle says, I know people that are voting for Trump now because of the raid, since they are clearly politically motivated. It was absolutely politically motivated. And it probably wasn't, like I said, it probably wasn't against Trump. It was against outsiders. Like, don't you dare try to become part of this establishment. It's a distraction to keep focus off what they are really doing. Absolutely. Right? I mean, just like Inflation Reduction Act. Let's employ 87,000 more IRS workers to go after what? The one percenters? No, that ain't gonna. They can go after the rich, quote unquote, rich people with what they got, because there ain't as many of them as you think. But they can definitely go after more lower middle class people with guns too. Trump can declassify anything he wants. Absolutely. What happens in DC does not matter to any of us. Just learn to play the system and stop whining. Who's whining? Gary? Any of you considered retiring abroad? Sure. It's a consideration, but
I'm your broad. You gonna retire me?
I'm going to retire your broad. Oh, you're my broad. Would you go retire in Mexico for a little while?
No.
No?
You see all the shit happening in TJ?
Well, we ain't gonna go to TJ, bro.
And Rosarita and Ensenada.
Where do we go? Spain? The system may be changing. The establishment, as corrupt as they are, no Trump will uproot them and upset the apple cart of the globalism. Yeah, absolutely. They did not like it. They definitely did not like an outsider being in there. I didn't agree with everything Trump did, but I did like. I mean, because honestly, I think the presidency, that whole system, regardless if it's president, senator, governor, whatever, it corrupts everybody. I think anybody that goes in there will have to play the system in some way, and it is what it is. Bros had a really weird post earnings rally, wimp fall. Yeah, you kind of expect that though from those kind of stocks because they, especially in this environment. Let's see, year to date. Yeah, they're still down. Yeah, that run up of Dutch Bros, I would have sold out if I owned shares right there. That sucker went up what 20+% in a day. Schwann's is still around. Yeah, they're hiring. That's what I was looking for. They handle frozen goods, merchandising, that type of thing. Bros grew big time but missed earnings. Yeah, I would imagine they're going to miss earnings for the foreseeable future, to be honest with you. It's all about planting stores. As long as they can plant stores, that's really what it's all about. Chasing, they got to fill out America, right? They're only on the left side of the the left half of the country. Well, I think they're starting to sprinkle in on the right, but they got a lot of growing to do. A lot. Yes, a pretty good song from the mid 1990s. I call it my Friday song and post it on Stock Twits and elsewhere as a reminder of how good we have it. Gotta have shades. Hey, have you ever had shares called away before expiration? How prevalent is that? I have. It's usually because of dividends. But I actually uh, bought back my calls at a loss this past week and sold the shares prior to expiration. The math just worked out better. But yeah, typically when you get shares called away, there's usually a dividend involved. They raised the price and made the box smaller. Yeah, that's how it always is. Timbuk 3, 1987. YouTube has the video. Gotcha. Timbuk 3. I can tell stories about Donald if you want. My flagship store was across Fifth Avenue from Trump Tower, and he and I talked when he was pushing his books. The left whined for 4 years, cried on TV, threatened to move away. Now they want everyone to stop whining. Yeah. Everyone been watching Dave hike the AT. He's doing great now in like his 4th state already, I think. Yeah, it's like 60 days gone by. I was like, holy crap, 60 days already? Dang. And now his recently he's been doing like 13, 14 miles. Like those are long days. All men want to be rich. Rich men want to be king, and king's not happy till he rules everything. I disagree with that, Bruce. I'm happy just being a lord. I don't need to be king. Yes, at Nick's. I'm living through Dave's hike of the AT. Bless you, by the way. Someday. Yeah, I'm like, is there like, 2 mile a day type stretches like hikes? Like 14 miles in a day? Like, sheesh. Uphill, downhill. King. Good point on human nature. Just a lord, you peasant. Let's see. What else we got? How about Target? Target dumped on earnings too last time. I haven't been in a Target in a while. But almost the same story. If they miss, look for around 150. If they beat very good, maybe, it won't get close to 200, but maybe mid 180s. I don't even think they'd push it that far. Not in this environment. I don't think retail is going to get pushed up that hard, even if they beat. Peasants pay the Lord. The Lord hangs out with kings, but the peasants cut off the king's head, not the Lord's. Off with his head. Let's see what else is happening this week. Housing market index, building permits, housing starts, existing home sales. I thought it was funny. Me and Knives went and looked at a condo, and they were really trying to sell it to us, but it was just for us to just look at, just to get an idea. And the guy goes, "Oh, prices are steady, and you should jump on this now." Like, we're not ready. We were just window shopping. And the next day they dropped the price 10 grand. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought you said prices are steady. The next day you freaking drop the price 10 grand. I thought that was funny. Thumbs up. Stock pick for this week. I am watching Apple and DraftKings as plays, and again, Allo. It had a good week again last week. I never have a plan, Gary. I don't. People always ask me that. What are you looking for this week? I don't know. Just depends on what the market does. I never have a plan going into Monday. I just never do. Mondays just starts a new week, and I have my watch lists up, and whatever the market decides to do, that's where I go. So I don't really. I'll take a look at earnings. I won't play the earnings, but if they have a horrible miss on earnings and they drop in a big way, that's when I look to go into, like, not a popular stock. But Six Flags had a big miss, and they were down like 20%. in one day. So I sold a put, and I think I was out of it the next day for like, I don't know, 65, 70% profit. So I never have a plan. There's only one king, plenty of lords. HD also reporting on Tuesday. Yep. Lows 2. Yep. Slow week should be flat to up a tiny bit. True. Why do you call your wife Knives? Oh, you already answered it.
I said you don't want to know the day you started it though. Maybe not.
Okay. I'll leave it at that. I thought you started it.
No, I didn't.
I think I had you start it.
No, I think they started calling me that.
Options expire next Friday usually means a dip. Yeah, that would be good. I would like a dip so I can sell some options. Do you invest in BST personally? No, I do not. I know people that do, though. I don't believe BST is at a discount any longer. Last I looked, it's very rare that trades at a discount. Let's see. Yeah, no discount. No discount at all. I think BSTZ is still trading at a discount though, but they got some really obscure names in that one. You don't want to know. Yeah, you don't want to know. I plan to retire as early as this year, depending upon the market and housing prices. I already have a house and rental abroad. I'm getting real sick of building my boss's dreams. Yeah, I feel that. I'm probably gonna have one last little push into a W-2 job, maybe part time when I'm able, and hopefully that can accelerate our plans a little bit. I've been making some scratch on W, really volatile though. Then again, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, W, I lost big time on some. I figured out what naked calls and how they go against you on Wayfair stock back in, what was it, January 2021. I haven't touched it since. Monday AM is always a good time to trade, and it sets the week action more times than not. Maybe I read too much. Yeah, I don't like. It really just depends. You know, if the market's all up on Monday, then it's like there's nothing I can do because I really don't trade the call side very much. Awesome, Ray. She's so sharp. You're so lucky. Yeah, she's so sharp. She is sharp. Art K is going to have a good run this fall. Yeah, it probably will because I'm out of it. So I would imagine it's going to have a good run. I just didn't trust it. So there you have it. And I'm not going to get back into it trying to recover the small amount of loss that I took in it and end up being back in the same position I was back in December for 7-8 months. So not going to worry about it. Kathy of ARK Invest is predicting a market crash. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people predicting a market crash. They'll be right sometime. They don't have to be right now. They can be right, 5 years from now. They go, see, back in 2022, I told you. And they'd be right. Da, 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 da. Okay. What else we got? You got anything, Knives? Market will run up into the election. Yeah, that's my thinking. That's my stinking thinking as well. Hindsight's 2020. You're not wrong. Exactly. You're not wrong. All these experts are not wrong. Market's gonna go up. Okay, yeah. If it doesn't for 5 years and it does for the next year, he'll be right. Yes, I saw her talking about it, but she really believes it's going to crash. What is she doing to prepare for it? I don't listen to these people. I don't watch them. I don't listen to them because all they just want to listen to is just hear themselves speak. I've never sold a call, a put, or anything options related. I'm super boring with ETFs only, just here for the random talk. Hey, that's fine. It is definitely, yeah, welcome, because it's definitely random talk. And I don't mind the random talk at all. Because, if I've said it before, I'll say it again, just the financial stuff, kind of boring. That's why I don't listen to the experts. Is your wife already retired, or what's the timeline? Same as yours? No. Knives was retired for a little bit, and then she decided to join back into the workforce part-time, and I'll probably be looking to do it part-time as well. And the retirement timeline is it's really dependent upon my youngest son. He's starting his senior year of high school this month. So it's really going to depend on what he does. Because, by the time he graduates in 2023, he could say, you know what? Bye, y'all. I'm out of here. I'm going to go, do my own thing. My oldest son did that. And our youngest son could do the same. So, we could, potentially be empty nesters as soon as, June, July, whatever that is, June of 2023. And we can be sitting here twiddling our thumbs, wondering what the hell we're going to do, or he could go to a local college here and want to stay home, and then we can be here for the next 5 years. It's really, who knows? Get a classic RV without Wi-Fi and come back in 5 years. The world will still be here and everything will be about the same. No, unfortunately, I have to have Wi-Fi. That's the difference between retiring with millions and retiring with less. I have to have Wi-Fi. I'll have to keep selling options, keep producing an income. We'll just be able to do it wherever we are in the country. Will the midterms have an effect on the market? Thoughts on a Democrat disaster? I can't. I really, that's the hard part. Like, you couldn't imagine like Biden was going to win against Trump, right? Say what you want. You know what I'm saying. The unbelievable they can make happen regardless of the situation, right? So it may not be a Democrat disaster. Everybody's thinking it, right? just like everybody was thinking 2020 was going to end up differently, but they can make things the way they want to make them. So I'm not completely convinced that November is going to be a Democratic disaster. Just because things can, be manipulated. Got 3 years left and it's already dragging. Yeah. Yeah. I retired from my profession, but I haven't retired. I still need to earn money. My profession was just it was working me a little too hard. I was getting too old. My hands were getting bad. I was getting carpal tunnel, and it really wasn't enjoyable anymore. So I had to give that up. At least the production side. Like I those who don't know, I printed T-shirts for the past 12 years, and that's how we made a living. But it took a toll on my body. um, I can still get, fulfill orders and things like that, but the business from March 2020 when everything shut down, the business just kind of went with it, unfortunately. So sold all my equipment, and what sucks is I sold all my equipment, and I just had to hand that money over to the IRS, because we had a extraordinary 2021 um, income level that we'll never achieve ever again. I wish I could have spaced it out over a number of years, but it is what it is. Lots of places like Pakistan, Sri Lanka are failing right now, and other emerging economies are struggling. How will this affect us? And even China is having banking and other social unrest. China. It doesn't matter who votes, it matters who counts the votes. Yeah, well, do the votes even get counted? Or is it just, a procedure? Getting really close to being demonetized. Well, I'm not monetized on this channel. That's why I moved it over to this channel. Um, so that's fine. They can't demonetize a non-monetized channel. They could ban me. That'd be funny. I think that would be cool. Ha ha ha, Kyle. Oops, sorry. It was ha ha, Kyle. I added a ha. That Kyle hurts to write that check. Yeah, it does. It is what it is. Matatoire. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon, shooting for financial independence. Hindsight's always 2020, right? Um, would have been nice at 18 to go into the military, and I would have been already retired for what, 9 years. But I did, I ran my own business since 2010. And to be honest with you, I felt retired. Even though I had to work, I had to put in the work. It was a lot of long days sometimes. But honestly, and I didn't make any more money than I did. I made less money. I made a lot less money um, working for myself. But um, I wouldn't have traded that for the world, because, I could go when I want, leave when I want, show up when I want, vacation when I want. I didn't have to ask for approval for anything. So Biggest risk to America is losing reserve currency status and having to pay their bills like every other country. Of course, people thought this would happen 50 years ago, and yet it hasn't happened. Yeah, and it could not happen for another 50 years. Who knows? Been on vacation the last couple of weeks up in the Pennsylvania region. Their tourism never picked back up either. At least that's what one of the waitresses were saying. Yeah, there's some things that just died out. Like that ice cream parlor I talked about. It just died out. And it's sad. How does the delisting of 8 large cap Chinese stocks in the USA affect the market? Probably won't affect the US market very much. I wouldn't think. What got delisted? Good night. See you all next week. Live well and treat yourself to some fun. Yeah. Thanks, Gary. You do the same. You have a good week. U.S. Air Force retired reserve, finishing up civil service retirement next. Right on. Social Security will be unfunded by 2034. That will be the end for us, even if it's just reduced. Many people living only on Social Security and can barely live now. I think unfunded is the wrong word. Underfunded is probably the right word. They just need to raise taxes, period. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't understand why none of the politicians will take this on. Like, I don't know how much they need to increase taxes, but it definitely needs to happen. It needs to be, it needs to happen by 2034. Right? I think they will. Someone's going to have to. they just, they're not gonna let old people die, even though I think they wouldn't care, like Bill Gates. But they just need to fix it. How are we gonna do it? Well, raise taxes. At least raising taxes on something like that, at least it's going to the people, right? Raising taxes to fund some other crap that's going on in the world or some pet project, that's just stupid. Raising taxes to make sure that our older generation is taken care of, I think it's like a no-brainer. Like, who's going to argue with that? I don't know of anybody that would argue like, oh, you can't raise taxes on for Social Security. Let them people starve. Nobody's going to say that. I just don't understand why no administration has taken that on. Good night. They will fix Social Security. Absolutely, they will. From what I understand, those 8 companies weren't being open with their accounting practices, so we are safer without them being on the exchange. Gotcha. What other topics? What do we got? What do we got? Have I lost any subscribers? That's the question. I have not. Wow. I got 2 thumbs down though. Haven't had thumbs down on the live streams in quite a while. Yeah, the past 3 live streams have had no thumbs down, and the ones that had thumbs down were always 2, and we got 2 today. So the same 2 people, or they got 2 accounts, one of the 2 finally came by to thumbs down the live stream. So thank you very much. Whoever you are, you must be a coward. Because you don't show up and say anything. You just thumbs down and leave. Friggin' coward. Yum, Weibo, Baidu, and Alibaba were some of the 8, I believe, but I'm not sure if they actually got delisted yet. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't think. I'm surprised. Let's see. Let me look at Baba. Yeah. Alibaba and Tencent turn over key data in China to regain regulatory compliance. So maybe not on Alibaba. Must be a mistake. Do you have to go to 15 different menus to see the dislike count? No. I just have to go to the tab where the video's at, and it'll show it. You can't see the YouTube doesn't allow the viewers to see the dislike count, which is stupid, I think. How much more can you invest if you live in a zero income tax state? Me personally, nothing. There's no difference because I normally don't pay state income tax. I think the issue would be for me personally is going to a place that has cheaper gas prices, cheaper food prices, cheaper sales tax, cheaper car registration, that type of thing. That would affect me and my family more than income tax because we don't make enough money to pay income tax. So a zero income tax state does not benefit me typically. Since it sounds like you didn't know the reference, Pennsylvania is Philly on the left, Pittsburgh on the right, and Kentucky in the middle. Gotcha. I was wondering about that. I was like, Pennsyltucky. I've been to Pittsburgh once. Pittsburgh, PA. I used to work for PPG, which is Pittsburgh Plate Glass, and they sent me out there for training. Didn't get to go to a football game, but we went to a Pirates baseball game, which was neat. That's really the only major league game I've ever been to, and there was like 10 people in the stands. But it was like a midweek game or something. But I liked Pittsburgh. I really did. The few days I spent there. If a stock is delisted, do you just lose your money? I doubt it. There's probably there's probably a procedure for you to sell it, or it gets moved to a different exchange, like the Korean exchange. I think is where it would go. So I could be wrong. I'm not expert on that stuff, but I don't think you'll just lose your money. They can't just take your money and run. Well, I mean, it is China, but but you're not. If you're in China stocks like Alibaba, that type of stuff, you actually don't own the stock. You own a deposit in I think it's Cayman Islands or something like that, that represents ownership of that stock. So you really don't own the stock. That's also just off the top of my head. I don't know for sure. China said thank you. Yeah. I invested in a cannabis company on over-the-counter. Company got sued, went private, and didn't give investors any money back. I still have shares, but they can't be traded. Yeah, you got a lot more risk going over the counter or pink sheets or things like that. Sometimes your broker may sell it for you, or it may turn into an OTC stock. How does delisting affect the income funds? Well, they wouldn't own any of those stocks. They are just RYLD, JEPI, QYLD. All those are all U.S. stocks. No foreign stocks in those. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I think I'm done, maybe. Only got 31 people watching. Did we gain any more thumbs down? We gained another one. Love it. So, if you guys don't got anything, I'm going to take off and relax. I'm probably going to go sit on the floor and stretch and try to get this back working again. And all that. So, I hope you guys have a good week. Watch out for retail sales. I got to tell you, Kohl's is something I'm keeping my eye on personally. I drove by Kohl's. It was probably because of back to school, but they were busy every time I drove by Kohl's. So I'm definitely going to look at I'm not going to read. I don't read earnings reports. I don't listen to earnings calls, but I'm going to look at the results, see what happens, see how the market reacts. And that might be something. I said I don't plan anything, and here I am planning something. So there we go. Take care, all. Be well. Good night. Have a good week. Where is Green Mom? That's a good question. She goes on another live stream. She live streams. She moderates live streams for quite a number of people, and she's in the community a lot. So she's probably on a different live stream. Got put 300 shares of Intel at 57.50. Yikes! Woe is me. Yeah, woe is you. 57.50. Dang it. I'm selling at the money puts on Intel, $35. Just FYI. I don't have one yet. I closed it, but I'm looking to put another one on. GWA. Is that like airline? TWA? All right, y'all. Hope y'all have a good week. What else? See y'all next week. Be here, same time, same bat channel. Probably gonna change the shirt because it's looking like it's faded a little bit. Maybe I need a different color. All right, y'all. You have a good week. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.